So we're going to soar across the Atlantic Ocean into the wide, wide land of England. My favourite place.
Home girl. Home girl.
No, this track is really cool. This is from Darla Jade, and this is her track "Forget You Not." And I'm connected well with Darla. We've actually co-wrote a song together, so it's with great pride that I introduce her for this song, and I'm sure you guys are gonna love it.
Hi, I'm Darla Jade, and this is my latest single, "Forget You Not." It's tough to communicate, 'cause I don't know what's going on in your head. You're always trying to think, but can't find the words to say. And I hope your memory doesn't completely fade away. What will you remember tomorrow? Is there more time you can borrow? And it tears you apart. But what will you remember tomorrow? Years ago is so easy. It's yesterday that's hard. This disease is so unkind. I pray God won't take your mind. You know lyrics from the 50s, even though you're in your 80s, but find it hard to remember my name. It's so frustrating, wish there's something I could do. It's tough to accept.
I bet a lot of people will listen to that and like relate to it. That's
the first thing I wrote was
raw.
like how beautiful and emotive, and everyone I'm sure can relate in some way. And
sad, man.
Like, fantastically written though. Wow,
Yeah,
you can only
so
create that
well
emotion if you
written.
write it well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love her already because she's English. But
I knew this was gonna come up.
I touched upon it, I think, in a couple of episodes ago. I love when artists use their accents. Because, I mean, not only for me personally, being an Englishman in America, I don't hear my own accent a lot.
Very often.
So when I hear it, especially in music, straight away I'm hooked. So amazing job. First of all, I love Darla's voice. As soon as it kicks in with the piano, I'm like, yes, love this voice. Again, just like I said with Brooks, has a very... She's very self-aware of her own capabilities with her vocals, and she writes very well to her voice.
She does.
And that's just a compliment. It's fantastically done. I mean, the lyrics are heartbreaking, but you know, like you said, something that everyone can probably relate to. I mean, it literally gave me chills when I heard it a couple of times. I was like, damn, like this hits home. I wanted to particularly draw upon the line, you know, lyrics from the 50s, even though you're in your 80s, but find it hard to remember my name. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So true. What a great line.
And that's exactly the situation that I have with my grandma. God bless her.
So
we can sing a hymn or something like that, like a song from the past, and she'll know every single word, and then just now and again she'll drift out of knowing who we are, and it's so that, you know, that lyric is so relatable for people that have any family member with, you know, dementia or Alzheimer's, and they'll just they'll just know exactly what that means, and it's a clever, beautiful lyric.
Definitely, like you said about your grandma, like my great grandma.
Yeah,
she died when she was 104, so she was an old lady, but she'd tell you things like, so she was 9 years old, I think, when the Titanic sunk.
No way.
So she'd tell you like, yeah, I remember seeing that in the newspaper, and you're like, wow. But then like she wouldn't be able to tell you what she'd done for the last like 2 months.
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
But you can remember that so vividly, and it just hits you home on a personal note, and just a very, very well written song. I couldn't speak more highly of it, to be honest. And the only thing that I would have done differently is I said it in Brooks's track with how they've produced the piano. I would have just low passed the piano, taken kind of the harshness out of it just to complement Darla's voice more. Because it is a very emotional song, make everything soft in there. Maybe add some drones and some strings in there at times. But I loved the song. Loved it. From the moment I hit play, I was like, yep, this is it.
Yeah. And I love her. Like when I heard Darla ages ago, one of the things I loved about her voice was, like you said, her natural accent and her natural kind of timbre. And she sings in this kind of this way which makes her quite distinct, I feel. But in this song, this is different to most of her stuff that I've heard. And this is the first one I've heard of hers that is this emotional and stripped back, and it's beautiful to hear the way that she's done the vocal progressions. They're very kind of, they're mid and low range for her vocal range, which really lends itself to the chilled, kind of relaxing and sad and kind of sombre nature of the song. Like this song wouldn't suit Darla belting, for example, these lyrics. They have to be sung in that way for us to feel the emotions, and it's completely correct. I think, if you were to suddenly belt the chorus, there'd be a disconnect there. So that's been well written and well chosen for me. And I think whoever's produced it has really done well with the low end of Darla's voice, because she's singing kind of down there in her lower range, she's got that lovely kind of harmonics coming through, and they've done well to keep that balanced as it comes across. It's not boomy or anything when we're listening to her. And she's still got that lovely vocal air and that commercial presence on the vocal, which I always comment on, because it's something that we all now expect as a listener. The piano, I think, is well mixed, but also really well played. You can tell it's also emotionally played. So I'm going to get it right this time. The musicianship, comes across there, and that's been very well done. And you can tell that there's quite a lot of bouncing off of each other in terms of the piano track and the vocal. And I'm sure that process came about during the writing of the piano track to Darla's vocal melodies. And if that's piano as a VST, they've mixed it even better than I could imagine, because it sounds like an acoustic piano. And it's really blended nicely with the depth of the track. And the last kind of instrumentation point I'll note is that there's this really subtle pad that's in the background. So it's not just Darla and the piano, and if you go back and listen to it again, you'll hear the pad and just the subtle kind of droning sounds in the background, and they're lovely. They're lovely. They're there. They're not distracting. They're just saturating that really kind of emotional content in the background, and I love that.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, totally.
Ambience, atmosphere, everything.
I think the only thing I would add is, from an instrumentation perspective, I would have picked the track up naturally with some gentle, just full kind of strum throughs in the chorus, maybe, just to again add a layer of instrumentation. Some beautiful acoustic strums that are kind of drawn out would just be the icing on the cake, but that's a personal choice for me. And the only other thing is there's a bit of a distracting kind of click noise, just because she's obviously so close to the mic, she's so emotional and she's so present. There's you have to listen hard for this. So this is really super critical. But there's a little kind of popping from, I don't know if it's her breathing or her kind of mouth movements or whatever that just comes through that I would just notch out. But I was thinking about this earlier. I might, in that process, notch that out, and it removes some of the realness and the live element of that performance. So I may well have put it straight back in. I just don't know. So again, I'm just shooting my thoughts off, and that's kind of where my thoughts were. So, but yeah, I loved that track, Darla.
Me too.
Just keep on sending it our way if you can, because that's. I really hope that people connect with this track and that it does some good things, because it deserves to be heard. It does.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.